A snowstorm came out of nowhere, a wall of white that swallowed the surrounding woods. Ian had been hiking by the creek when the first flakes started to fall, but now he could barely see a few feet ahead. His flashlight beam flickered against the swirling snow as he trudged forward, hoping to find a landmark or shelter. The sound of rushing water guided him. The creek, though partially frozen, still ran swiftly, its voice louder than the howling wind. Ian stopped to catch his breath, leaning against an old oak whose branches groaned under the weight of the snow. That's when he saw it, a figure crouched near the creek. At first, Ian thought it was an animal, maybe a bear or a large dog, but as his flashlight cut through the storm, he realized it was something else entirely. The creature was lanky and sinewy, its limbs too long and its movements unnervingly fluid. Its skin, pale and mottled like the bark of a birch tree, seemed to shimmer faintly in the dim light. It crouched on all fours, clawed hands dipping into the icy water. When it turned its head, Ian saw its face, or what should have been a face. Instead, it was a smooth expanse of skin, featureless except for a slit where its mouth should be, curling upward into a ghastly grin. Ian's breath caught in his throat. The creature tilted its head, as if listening, and then it sniffed the air. The sound was wet and guttural, like the inhalation of something that had forgotten how to breathe properly. Ian stepped back, the crunch of snow beneath his boots loud in the unnatural silence that had fallen. The creature froze, its grin widening impossibly. Then it rose to its full height, towering over the creek. Its limbs seemed to stretch further, joints cracking like ice splitting on a lake. Ian turned and ran. Behind him, he heard a low, chittering sound, followed by the sharp crack of branches breaking. It was following him, closing the distance despite the storm. He stumbled but kept moving, heart pounding in his chest like a drum. He didn't dare look back until he reached the road where his car was parked, its windshield already thick with snow. Ian fumbled for the door, throwing himself inside and locking it. For a moment he sat there, gasping, staring into the storm beyond his headlights. Then he saw it again, standing just at the edge of the light, its grin as wide as ever. It raised one long, clawed hand and pointed at him before melting back into the darkness. Ian didn't wait. He started the car and drove as fast as he could, the tires skidding on the icy road. He never went back to the creek again. And when the snow melted weeks later, search parties found strange claw marks etched deep into the frozen banks, as if something had tried to climb out of the water or drag something in.